Welcome back to the Couch Potato Show. Today we're doing a special interview with point guard for Dwight Englewood High School, Jayden Lemond. Jayden, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Um, I'm a 6'4" point guard from Old New Jersey. Go to Dwight Englewood, and I play for PSA Cardinals on the EYBL circuit.
Nice. So, first question that we wanted to ask you was, what got you into basketball initially?
My dad played overseas in Venezuela. I was always around the game since I was like a little kid. My dad also had a summer league tournament in Brooklyn, so I'd spend most of my Saturdays during the summer there, like every weekend since I was a little boy, just like dribbling around. And like I played other sports, but like as I started growing up, around like second grade, I started to get a feel for the game of basketball, and that's when I put like everything else aside.
You said your dad inspired you. Would you say he's like your main inspiration, or were there other guys maybe older than you or younger than you around you that inspired you to keep playing?
Yeah, he was definitely my main inspiration. He would put the ball in my hands like first, so that was something that was good. But like growing up, like in Old Span, there were like other guys that inspired me, like Justin Minaya plays at South Carolina. Like I grew up watching him a lot, watching him work out. We worked out together, so like he inspired me as well too.
So two of us are from we're from Wayne, so we're also northern New Jersey guys too. Um, so growing up in New Jersey, are there any guys that you've reached out to, whether they're in college right now or maybe even over playing overseas, but any guys that have really like inspired you and you've looked up to as
Um,
mentors?
well, growing up, obviously Justin Minaya, like he's like one of my close family friends. Also Jordan McCoy at Merrimack. And then I also played for Team Rio, like growing up. So Scotty Lewis, Brian Antoine, Jalen Gaffney, like those are my guys. So, like those are guys like if I need anything, I'll reach out to.
That's awesome. Now I want to get into your high school season. Is there anything that you have to do differently now because of COVID and all the restriction, or is it kind of like business as usual for you?
Um, yeah, it's a little bit different. Last year it was a lot. Like I think it's harder for like college athletes to play, especially because like they need fans. Like they
Yeah.
need fans. Like fans bring a lot of energy. And like I was talking about this like with a couple of guys who I play basketball with, like Duke may not win games this year based off of because they don't have fans. So like I think like adapting to your surroundings and just going out there and like I think you have to stay more locked in now. Like you have to be locked in on everything now. So
Yeah, I'm
that's
already
what,
seeing that with football. With last week at Penn State, Ohio State game, their fans are not there, and now it's just completely different. So
yeah.
it's
And,
probably gonna be the same for you guys.
like Penn State's losing a lot of games just because
Yeah,
they don't have
exactly.
fans. So it's crazy.
Do you have you set any like goals for yourself? Because you're in your junior year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you set any goals for yourself going into your upperclassmen years, junior, senior year?
Um, yeah, definitely. Hope. I mean, if we have enough games, definitely like the 1,000 point mark. All county. I got snubbed last year. Made like 17. So yeah, I was mad. I was pissed about that. I should have made it, but I mean, yeah, I'm definitely going for all county this year. First team all league. Yeah, I won that this past year. So I don't know, just building up upon each thing is what I need to do. But yeah.
Would you say you're looking more towards the short term in goals, or are you looking kind of like long term?
Definitely long term goal for everybody to get to the next level and beyond that. So like just doing what I got to do to get there. Feels like, especially now, like you don't know like how much high school basketball you're gonna play.
Yeah.
So I mean, just working out, staying in shape, staying fit. I think that's the best thing for me.
So what is the because you're starting to get into the process where schools are reaching out to you. What's that been like? Have you been like virtually touring them
Um,
or what's going on with
yeah,
that?
like the first day, it was a little hectic. Like I remember like I was going to bed and it was like 12. I spent most of my quarantine in Atlanta because my grandma lives down there and things were a lot open. So I got in the gym a lot. Well, I remember the first day of colleges reaching out to sophomore players. I got a call at like 12 from like New Mexico State, and I was like, oh my god. And then like the next day, like I had to work out and stuff, and all throughout the day, like my phone's blowing up and stuff like that. So it was crazy.
Was that like a
First couple
crazy
days.
experience for you? Like, wow, these schools like want me. Like, they actually
Yeah,
want me to
no,
come to their schools. It's different, right?
no, yeah, it's a different it's a different feeling, and like seeing your friends also succeed too, like
Exactly.
guys that you play is definitely something. Because like I played like growing up, like my AU team in sixth grade was like me, Mark Armstrong, Corey Floyd, Derek Whitehead, and like Kyle Flipowski, Matt Flipowski, and like David Major, who I go to high school with. So like seeing all those guys get phone calls as well was something that was crazy.
Yeah, and you said you're also good and pretty close to Scotty Lewis. Is that has Florida given you a call at all?
Nah, not yet. They haven't given me a call yet. But I spoke with Villanova like the first day too.
I don't want to hear that, man. I go to Seton Hall. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, no, yeah. Seton Hall. I spoke.
Recruiting you, I know.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
school's been like recruiting you like the highest, like and the most?
I mean, probably UConn, Michigan, Vanderbilt, and Auburn. Probably recruiting me the hardest right now. I mean,
Not what I
so-
like. I'm down here in Alabama. I'm not Vanderbilt and Auburn is not what I like to hear.
yeah, nah, yeah. I had a Zoom call with like UConn, like Dan Hurley and all the coaches, and they liked me a lot. You know, like the 2022 class was like something really special.
Yeah.
I feel like I could be like a good guard along with like Russell Diggins, who's going there next year, and like Jordan Hawkins. So like I like to hear that, and they play at the Garden, so that's just a different environment.
Yeah, it's hard to pass that up.
Yeah, there's nothing that beats that.
So when you get all these calls from these schools, like what are you looking for? What's your dream situation?
You know, like for me, mainly a brotherhood, or a place where I'm gonna succeed and get better. You know, my mom, like she wants me to go to school, also like get education and stuff like that. But I just look for like a brotherhood, somewhere I'm gonna succeed, and also where the coaches are gonna look out for me, like after I'm done playing college basketball.
So let's talk basketball for a second, because obviously getting recruited by all these schools, you have some kind of talent,
Yeah.
clearly. So what would you say is the biggest hole in your game right now?
Like place where I need to work on.
Yeah.
Mainly, well, obviously my body, but like that's gonna develop, but like maybe like building into more of a leadership role. You know, like this year it was like last year, freshman year, it was kind of I had to step into that role a lot because Judah had got hurt, like he messed up his finger. So I stepped in and started playing more of the point guard position. So like I had to become more vocal and stuff like that. This year, same thing as well. I could have been a little bit more vocal down the line with some games, even though we pulled some out. And like sometimes just taking over the game. That's where I think I need to work on. But overall, I still got to work on everything else, you know. Never satisfied with what you're doing. Still got a lot of holes in my game. So just like staying in the gym and getting better every day is what I like to do.
Yeah, I asked the question because I was looking at your stat line from last year, and I saw pretty close to leading the team in points, leading the team in rebounds, leading the team in assists, leading the team in steals. I mean, there's not really much you can't do. So I was just curious.
No, yeah. I was I got in like I was nominated for like North Jersey Athlete of the Week once, but my stat line, like I didn't have many points, but like my stats all across the board were high. Like I led the team in stats besides scoring this year.
Is that something you pride yourself on, being an all-around type of player and not just having one skill set?
Yeah, I mean, at the college level, I mean, I think that's what separates me from a lot of other players. You know, a lot of other players now just want to score. I like to pass a lot. Like that's just my favorite thing to do. You know, my dad is always digging in my head, like telling me to score and stuff. But like I know when to like take over now and stuff like that. And I've watched a lot of players and I've learned from them as well. Like during this pandemic, like I like watching Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, play alongside with Chris Paul. You know, I feel like him and me have the same game that correlates, and like he likes to pass a lot, likes to get into his spots, and I just learned a lot from him.
Yeah, you stole a question right out of my mouth. I was going to ask you who you would model your game after. You think Shea would be that guy?
Yeah, Shea or the dude in the draft, Tyrese Haliburton. You know,
Oh,
he
at
has
Iowa
like
State, yeah.
yeah, he has no holes in his game. Like
Yeah.
he's all about like I'm all about like I like to score pass, but like getting my teammate the extra shot. Like I like moving the ball, like anything, making defensive stops. Like I'll do it all, whatever it takes to get that dub. I'm down.
Yeah, like when I watched Halliburton, he played Seton Hall a couple times, so I was watching him play, and you watch him play, and it's like he does everything. He controls the entire game, and it's like offense and defense both like run through him. Is that like something that you want to do? Like you want to be the centerpiece on every team?
Yeah, no, yeah. I want to be the centerpiece for sure. I think like what I was saying before, I think what separates me from a lot of the guards now is like, I don't know, it's just a lot of guards just play like one side of the ball. I'm willing to do whatever, play both sides, defense, make defensive stops, look for the open man. And I get the ball out of my hands a lot quicker than other guards. Like I don't really dribble if I get the rebound. If I see a guy up, I'll just throw it down the court. Like almost like how LaMelo Ball was in high school. I like playing that type of play style. And I watched a lot of Lonzo Ball, so seeing how fast he gets to the defense, makes the passes, even though sometimes they're flashy, is what I like to do. So watching a lot of him too helped my game a lot too.
Yeah, and that's definitely something coaches love to hear because they're big. Coaches are always telling you to pass the ball around and make sure everyone gets to touch it. And Lonzo obviously does that better than a lot of people in the NBA right now.
Yeah, he
But
definitely does.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying yeah, he definitely does.
Oh yeah. So you've played against a lot of good players, obviously. And some, as you've already mentioned, are playing in that Division I level in college. Who would you say is the hardest guy you've ever guarded?
I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, I think athletically, like someone like hard to guard based off their athletics was like for sure Scotty or Brian. Like they were just like their first step was like fast. It was just hard to guard.
Yeah.
Shifty wise, I mean, there's a lot of players, like a lot of I don't know, that's hard. There's a lot of like players that got good handles and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't even know. There's just a lot of players.
Yeah, I've seen because obviously Florida came down to Tuscaloosa to play against Alabama last year, and I saw Scotty play, and he made Kyra Lewis, who's probably
Yeah.
going to be a lottery pick this year. He made Kyra look like a freshman in high school.
Yeah, no,
What he
yeah.
was doing.
His first step was it was a problem. And I was like younger, so like I didn't really know like how to like rearrange my steps, like what not to let him do and what to let him do. So it was that guarding him was hard. Guarding him was hard for me.
You said Scotty was like one of the more athletic players you've played against. Would you say that's like the hardest step going from high school to college, like the sheer athleticism of the players and how big they are and their size and something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it also depends on like what yeah, the strength definitely is a big thing. Also, I think what also a lot of people don't understand is like how smart you are as a player. Like I think like having a
Which comes with age, yeah.
yeah, like having an IQ definitely correlates because like the difference between the SEC and the ACC, like the SEC, if you're not a shooter, you can go straight to the league because you're not really gonna shoot that many threes. You're gonna get to your spots, mid range floaters, a lot of dunks. Like a lot of guys get, it's more bully ball, I think, in the SEC. ACC is more like they run sets. Like you can tell Duke, North Carolina, they run sets. Like if things aren't going well, they're gonna run a set. Like I think that's like the difference. Like depending on where you go, I think that plays a big factor too.
Does that affect your college decision at all, where you would want to play, whether it's that bully ball style like in the SEC or the smarter, like okay, we're gonna run this play and this play, like the more NBA centric ACC style?
Like, no, I don't think it affects me at all because I remember like growing up, I could get away with stuff because of my skill set. So like if I wasn't strong enough, like I could always like make the right pass. I could get into spots. Maybe I wouldn't finish that layup, but I could get into spots, make the right pass. So I don't think that would be a problem for me. I think I could play wherever I want.
Awesome. Oh, I lost my train of thought. My bad. I forgot my question.
Want me to take this one?
Yeah, sorry. My fault.
You good?
It's been a long day, man.
So I was stalking you a bit on a 24/7, and you got to update me because I'm not sure this is 100% accurate. But I saw, as far as I saw, you've got offers from Auburn, Bryant, UConn, Hofstra, St. John's, and Seton Hall. And am I missing any?
Yeah, I got when I was down in Atlanta working, I got an offer from like a small school like Kennesaw State had offered me too.
Right. So in addition to Kennesaw State, if decision day were today, what direction would you be leaning?
Oh,
Not to put
I
any
don't.
pressure.
There's only one right answer.
I'm just letting you know we have an average of 5 viewers per episode, so you're not really exposing it.
Oh man.
Tell me what I want to hear, man. Only one right answer.
One school, right? If decision they would say.
Yeah,
if it was today and they said you had to sign on the dotted line, what school would that be?
I'd probably be a Husky by now.
Oh, dude, Big East. I'm not to see you in the Big East still, bro. Listen, UConn's got a great program though. You know, they were national championships a few years ago with Kemba and all those guys. So they're crazy. They're a different breed over there.
And they're back I'm happy they're back in the Big East. You know, my dad is real close with Coach Kamani, and so like the relationship, like when they were on the call with me, was so enthusiastic. So like seeing them being enthusiastic with me would definitely uplift my decision.
Is there any way you can go to UConn and like tour the campus, or are they just strict video?
Not right now. They were talking to me about it. I'm supposed to have like another Zoom call in the next like week or 2 weeks, but yeah, I'm not really sure.
So we've heard that I was on Twitter this morning, did some more stalking, and I saw you were either in talks or have met with Clemson, like you said, Michigan, USC, Mississippi State, and you dumped us for Stanford yesterday.
No, what happened yesterday was Stanford. I was supposed to have a plans call with Stanford, and then 20 minutes before it happened, because of like all the COVID cases going on in the Pac-12, and like it's getting like really hectic, so they had to have a meeting with all the coaches. So I could have had a call with like Coach Cohen, like one of the associate head coaches, but he said we could do it another day with all the staff. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. So now it got moved to Sunday, but they said like the COVID is going crazy in the Pac-12, and they had to cancel.
Same thing with my school. Like we just shut down yesterday because they had a COVID case and one of the basketball players got.
Same at Dwight. At Dwight, like there was like the teachers are always telling us to like social distance, and the teachers are the only people that have gotten COVID at my school. So it's crazy. But yeah, he said he was like sorry, like everything. I was like no worries. But he said like the COVID is going crazy in the Pac-12.
Yeah. So I'll take Stanford out of the question then. So you got Clemson, Michigan, USC, Mississippi State. Have any of those meetings or calls like come out of anything?
Yeah, for sure. Michigan. Yeah, no, Michigan. I like Michigan a lot. Coach Osley said, you know, he likes my game a lot. He said there's really no ceiling for me. He thinks I could go beyond my expectations, like with what I believe, as long as I just put in the work for it. But he really likes me a lot. Like he talks to me all the time, not even just about basketball stuff, just about life. And like when he spoke to my parents, both my mom and my dad, and he just talked about like, and like they really got a good feel for him and like the mental side of the game. Like it's not always about being on the court, but also like what goes to your mind and what you think, because like what you think and put out in words is what comes back to you. So he spoke to my parents about everything, and I got a good feel for him too.
With a school like Michigan, does the tradition they have, and especially like the team they're building now, because we all know that the team they're building now just continually gets better with every recruit that decides to go to Michigan. Does something like that just influence you that much more that maybe you could be playing with like all these 5-star and 4-star recruits?
Yeah. Well, let's go. Like me and I've been playing against Jay Howard since I was like a little kid. And like we've gotten close. Like I remember 8th grade, I was down in Florida and they were trying to get me to go to youth school. So me and Jay have always been close. He's always like put that in my head. Yeah. So like Michigan is definitely like top tier in my head all the time. I think about that all the time. And like seeing like guards like Trey Burke, Jordan Poole go through there.
Yeah, all these guys. You could just name like an entire list of the guys that went to Michigan that are just so successful now.
And then like seeing all the guys that they're getting right now is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like every week I turn on my phone and it's like a different recruit, either committed or like decommitted from somewhere else and went to Michigan instead. It's
And every time I talk to Coach Isley, he's like, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So sorry, I lost my question here.
Sorry, now we're even because I didn't want to know you.
Yeah. So you've obviously been around basketball your whole life, and you know that at some point you always wanted to play basketball at the next level. Has there ever been one school, like your dream school, that you're just hoping, like, if they reach out to me, I'm just gonna sign immediately? Like, does that school exist?
Yeah, for sure. Like what you guys asked me before, like if I could sign now, like it probably would have been like just because of like the relationship that I've been building with them was UConn. But I don't know, dream school has always been like Vanderbilt, Michigan. I mean, it's like when I was younger, it was always like Duke, Kentucky, and it like still is a little bit Kentucky, but like Michigan and Vanderbilt is definitely like top 2 of my dream schools.
What changed your mind about that? Because all these young kids when they're playing basketball, they're like, "Oh, I want to go to North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky." But you changed your tune a little bit, and you said Vanderbilt, which not a lot of people think of. What made you change your mind like that?
I mean, I'd rather play against Kentucky. That would be.
You'd rather play against the good guys than be part of them.
I mean, you get a national championship out of them, but you get to see what you're really made of. What could bring you to that next level, which I think is really important.
So we got the NBA draft coming up soon. Do you have a favorite NBA team?
The Knicks are terrible.
I feel your pain.
Yeah, I'm a LeBron fan. Like I've always been a LeBron fan. So, but like the Knicks, it's been rough. Because I go to the games, but it's just hard to watch.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
Trust me, we know. But so the Knicks have 2 first-round picks. Is there any like one guy that you're really hoping the Knicks can pick up and maybe ruin their career too? Because you do that with everybody else.
I think the Knicks. Well, I think the top 10 draft picks. Like I don't think you can go wrong. But the Knicks are just
exactly.
Like, I don't think you can go wrong. It's just that the Knicks are just so bad.
It's like there's like 7 good guys that you could pick from, and the Knicks just happen to pick the one guy in those 7 that just turns out terrible. Like
my dad, like when Michael Porter was going crazy in the bubble, my dad was like, I know the Knicks are pissed. Because like they pass up good guys every single year. And like if I was them, I would trade ahead to get LaMelo Ball, because if you bring LaMelo Ball to New York, your stock is gonna rise. Like everyone wants to see LaMelo Ball play, and everyone in New York and New Jersey wants to see LaMelo Ball play. So if I was a Knicks, I would try and trade up in the draft and get LaMelo Ball.
So Frank over here is or I guess over here on my screen.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's a Wolves fan. So I don't know how much he would like that trade.
Listen, man, I got my Wolves taking LaMelo at number 1. So like I'm not trading the pick away. because we need LaMelo. We need an actual passer on the team because we can't pass it. It's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think because LaMelo and D'Angelo Russell on the same team. I don't know how good.
That's the issue. But
yeah, I don't know how good that's gonna work out. Because
I'd like to see D'Lo in more like a scoring role and then have LaMelo out. I cannot speak. LaMelo is like the facilitator, but I don't know.
I think D'Lo would he'd definitely average more if LaMelo was on the team. Like for sure, he'd average more. But I don't know. Everyone wants to see Wiseman go there and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's like the top. I said it yesterday because we made draft predictions yesterday, and it's like the top 15 guys. Like it's like
I don't think you can go wrong. Like this is the first time where the Knicks, like I don't think they can make a mistake, but like I don't want to say that, and then the guy that they draft is so like isn't playing good. And,
the thing with the Knicks is like even when they draft the guys that no one thought would be good, like Kristaps, they trade him away like 3 years later.
Yeah,
and it's like, why even draft this guy?
It's bad. Like I remember like when the Lakers, I think this year, when the Lakers played at the Garden, it felt like LeBron was playing at home. Like it was like everyone was cheering for him. Like it was the Knicks fans are the worst too. Like if you suck, you're gonna get booed.
Oh, they don't give a crap, man. They just
they don't care. Like I remember they played someone. Yeah, they played the Cavs, and they lost by like 30 at home, and the players were hearing it. Like the fans were like, "Oh, you suck!" Like all of this.
Yeah,
bad.
And it's like there's no one sees a path for the Knicks to get out of where they are right now. It's just hopeless.
Well,
but honestly, yeah. But honestly, this year you can't go wrong. I don't think at all in the top 10. I don't think you can go wrong. So whoever they pick, I mean, best of luck to them.
So I got one more question for you. Question that I meant to ask earlier, but I totally forgot about it. There's been mumblings of you potentially reclassifying. Is that true for 2023?
Yeah, that is true.
So how would that work with obviously you being done with your senior year by then?
Well, I think I don't know if I'm gonna complete my senior year at Dwight. I think I might just, depending on like what happens. Like if there's no season this year, I'll probably might go during January. So I'll be a sophomore, but I'll be doing junior classes. So basically, I'll be done with school like basically next year.
Right.
And then I'll just be a sophomore again. So that's what the plan's looking at it for right now.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you again for taking the time out of your day to sit down with us because we really appreciate it. I think I can speak for Frank here. I think we're gonna definitely gonna keep watching you, watch what you do your last few years in high school. We'll be rooting
hopefully
for
see
you.
you at Seton Hall in a couple of years. Maybe. I don't know.
I know we'll be rooting for you no matter where you go. Maybe one of us won't be if you choose to go to a Big East school or an SEC school.
I'll be rooting for you. I just won't be rooting for your team.
Exactly.
It's one of those deals.
Yeah, I get it.
And hopefully I'd love to come down to Tuscaloosa and see you play if you kind of decide to go to Auburn or Vanderbilt or any of those schools.
Yeah, that would be dope.
But thanks again.
Thank you.